Welcome to Lira and Lo. Thank you very much for joining me, broadcasting live as usual on a Thursday evening from 7:30 onwards, directly from London, England. Welcome back. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying your warm evening, and I hope you're not too depressed from the England Argentina game last night. Gosh. Anyway, what can I say? No, that's not been said already. Well, okay, we have another 4 years, and I think it's 2 years to the Euros. No, if you're following football at all. Anyway, ang pangalan ko po Lira Simon Kabatbat of Douglas Simon Solicitors. Thank you again for joining me. As usual, it's jam packed. Great topics nga, no, and of course. That is because of you. And salamat po to all of you who have written in with your comments nga and your questions. And so as usual, meron tayong star question, which is the basis of our topic. No? Ang topic po natin nga ngayon is visitor visa do's and don'ts. I thought it would be good dahil nga it's summertime, maraming mga tao gusto na magbakasyon, and also this of course from our from one of our viewers nga, no? So it's a very relevant topic. Actually, yung scenario nga niyang sinabi niya, it's actually it's a very common, no, topic, and it's a lot of people it can be a bit confusing. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng visit visa, no? How long can you stay in the United Kingdom? Kung lumabas ka, pasok ka, balik ka nga, pwede ka ba bang bumalik dito? So it's a great question. So thank you very much. Pero hindi lang yung pag-uusapan natin. As usual, as I say, it's jam-packed. So we're also going to be talking not just about visitor visa, do's and don'ts, yung nga topic natin nga ngayon, but also marrying in the United Kingdom. So yung viewer natin nandito na siya. May visa nga siya dito, skilled worker siya. Tapos gusto niyang magpakasal. Ano bang proseso? No, things to kind of watch out for. And more than that, actually, we also have viewers asking about dependent niya, no, dependent child. Well, I say child, he's over 18 already. So dependent pa ba? No? Again, very relevant topic. We also have viewers who have asked about spouse applications, but specifically nga accommodation. No, because again, that can be an issue, especially nga in London, or indeed sabihin natin kung hindi ka laging nagsasama because you're living out or he's living out, no, or indeed I have clients who have spouses who work on a contract basis somewhere else, no, and then every 3 months or so babalik nga. So it's accommodation can be, of course, a source of a refusal. So another great topic now. So thank you very much for writing in. And of course, it's still not too late. Kung meron kayong question, we can try and fit it in. But otherwise, no, we'll save it for next week. For those of you who want to ask questions, as long as we have it by next Wednesday, we'll try and fit it in nga. But I say again, as I say all the time, kung meron kayong meron kayong problema, meron kayong question, truly absolutely nothing beats one-to-one advice. I will try and assist by hopefully pointing you in the right direction, but don't rely on just my say-so nga, no? Because for one thing, we're limited in time and in fact, no? By that, I mean, you give me your scenario, your questions nga. Some questions are more detailed than others, but of course, it's just not the same. When you see a solicitor and they ask you ano bang anong background, no, ano bang gusto niyo mangyari, no, if it's to do with if in income requirements, you can show them also payslips. So truly nothing beats independent one-to-one advice. So if kung nalilito kayo, it doesn't matter kung I've had clients say to me, oh, simple lang naman. I don't actually know that there are simple issues anymore in relation to immigration. Maybe years ago, maybe years ago, there were simple issues. I don't really come across many simple issues now for immigration. But anyway, there you are. So kung meron kang mga kaibigan, mga kamag-anak na who you think mo, maybe they would be helped by at least having a look nga at one of our topics, share our content, no? Sharing is caring. Sabi nga nila, no? I think that's from the Care Bear episode. I don't know if he's still on the Care Bears. Anyway, I digress. So, marami tayong topic. Great question, as I say. Ang topic nga natin, visit visa do's and don'ts, no? Now, usually, meron tayong break nga ngayon, no? But because we have so many questions, let's launch into it. And then maybe later on, no, we can take a break. And also, gusto ko nga, I want to make sure, no, na maisingit nga natin batian. By the way, kung gusto niyo akong batiin, please do, ha? I know we have mga kaibigan natin who very, very kindly, take the time and say hello. And of course, yeah, so please do. Alam niyo na, paborito ko to. No, paborito ko to. Now, let me just see if I can find the question. Let's launch into it. No, we'll take a break later on. We can always take a break later. So ito po. Okay. Now, this is the question on which we based our topic, which is visitor visas, do's and don'ts. So, ang question ng viewer natin ito. So, this helpful free tama ka, no, free live stream online, and just had a quick question popped in my head. Ask ko lang po sana, nagpunta po ako sa UK bilang tourist last month, which is June 12, 2026. At umuwi ako noong 26 June 2026. So, nandito nga lang siya 14 days, no? Due to the heat wave, I decided to go back to the Philippines. I don't blame. Dahil napakainit, no? And marami pa po, hindi ko napupuntahan na lugar. That actually makes sense, no? Dahil nga, kung mainit, it's probably difficult to maglakwatsa because it's so hot. So yeah, so that's logical, no? Question ko po, pwede pa akong bumalik uli nitong September, sabi niya. Valid pa naman visa ko hanggang October. Wala na po ba akong magiging problema sa immigration? Even kagagaling ko lang last June. Salamat. Sabi niya, salamat. No, salamat. Thank you for posting the question. Great question also. So unang-una ito. Tignan mo yung visa mo, okay? It would still be in June. Okay, so from the 1st of July, hindi na sila nagbibigay nga ng stamp, no, the stickers on immigration. Last week yun ang topic nga natin, no? So if you want to know, find out a little bit more, go to our topic nga from last week. So no more stickers, no more immigration stickers from the 1st of July. Now, but dumating ka dito June, so you still probably have your sticker nga, no? Makikita mo doon, it should, most standard visitor visas are multiple entry visas. And sa'yo, it's clearly probably 6 months ang binigay sa'yo, no? So, unang-una, siguraduhin mo, nandoon, multiple entry. In unusual circumstances, they would give a single entry, no, visas, but that's not typical, no. Normally, a standard visitor visa is granted for 6 months. You can apply for longer. You can apply for a long-term visitor visa valid for 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years, no. But it doesn't mean that you can stay in the UK for 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. There's still 6 month limit, but I'll discuss that in a moment. So, yung viewer nga natin, sabi niya, okay, pwede ba yung bumalik dito? If you have a multiple entry visa, nakatatak dun sa sticker mo nga, then yes, absolutely, you can come back into the United Kingdom because it's not, you can use it again until, of course, it expires, no? You should leave the United Kingdom before it expires. So, kung hanggang October matatapos, then you should leave the UK, obviously, before it ends. So if it ends on the 5th of October, then you should be out of the UK before then, no? Or indeed on the 5th of October, because that's when your visa expires. Yeah. You should not have an issue, but if you do get stopped, because they say, oh, hang on, lumabas ka, balik ka na naman. Bakit? Be ready. I mean, you did say, you actually, they would probably even appreciate yung rason mo, which is, yeah, you came to visit and naglakwatsa nga kayo, but unfortunately, because it was that week, or 2 weeks was so incredibly hot, you didn't really get to the places that you wanted, and you want to maximize nga your visit visa. So that's why you're back. So you're looking to visit, and hinda mo din, no? What are you looking to visit in September? If you're looking to visit places like now Kew Gardens, no, malapit yung Kew Gardens sa amin, that's why it comes to mind. It may be an idea to also say, have a look. No, what are you looking to visit at Kew Gardens at the moment? Lots of things happening in Kew Gardens, by the way. You should actually visit Kew Gardens because it is an interesting place to visit. There's a Henry Moore sculpture exhibition. Look it up, no? And for you also, it's good to also see, what are you looking to do? You may want to take in some shows, no? If you're going to do that, then you may want to book tickets. So again, it's for you to show nga na hindi nga lang na babalik ka with the view to not leaving anymore. So you need to be able to show, if they ask you, what's the plan? So if you're looking to take in some theater shows and you book tickets, and say to them that you're looking to watch Cabaret. Actually, I saw that recently. Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, and it's very good. I recommend it. So you own. So the quick answer is yes, you can. But be prepared also if you're asked, why are you back so soon? And the answer is what you said, which is the truth. You just didn't get a chance to really visit, go around, know where you want to go around, just because of the heat. Ironically, you left the UK dahil mainit, bumalik ka sa atin, mas mainit pa. I'm sure that makes sense. Now, let me take it one step further. No, alam ko yung question mo, and I hope that I dealt with that nga. But also, going back to the length of visas, visit visas nga. Usually, I would even say 60, maybe 70% of the time, maybe higher nga. It's usually 6 months nga lang bibigay, because that's what you're asking for, most people nga. But you can also ask for 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years. In the olden days, a long time ago now, I'm sure I came across a visa for 20 years, visit visa for 20 years. I've not seen that for years, so I don't know, maybe they even got rid of it now. But certainly, yeah, you can have a visit visa for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. There's a higher fee for those. But what does that mean kung 2-year visa ka, o 5-year visa ka, or 10-year visa? Ibig bang sabihin pwede kang tumira nga dito for that time? Hindi po, for sure. Okay? So there's still a 6-month time limit. So let's say, nandito ka, you got a visit visa for 2 years. Every single time you enter the United Kingdom, there's a limit of 6 months. It's not 6 months cumulative. So I've had clients say, okay, from 1st of January hanggang December nga, I have 6 months. No. Hindi po ganon. It's 6 months after entry. No? So you would then have, you can stay for 6 months. But of course, kung laging ang ganon, so let's say nakakuha ng visa for 2-year visa, and then you're here for 6 months. Uwi ka sa atin, no? Tapos nandun ka for a month. Balik ka na naman dito, another 6 months nga. When you go through, immigration nga, they may start to wonder, bakit ka laging nandito? So kung magdududa sila, you need to also be able to explain, ano bang dahilan? So it's not a question, as I say, of accumulation of dates totaling to 6 months, starting from the 1st of January until the 31st of December. Hindi po yun. It's 6 months per entry. No? It should not be longer nga than that. But beware, if you're always coming back into the United Kingdom, then they may say, well, why is that? You may get you may get asked nga. So just be ready nga. And it could be a simple thing. So I had a fairly well-to-do client nga. Sabi niya sa akin, well, whenever she wants coming to the UK to do shopping or to take in shows, she does. So yun. So be careful. Be ready now with answers, And yeah, so for you, yung viewer nga natin, have a good time. Kung babalik ka dito in September, it should be the weather should be quite mild then. If anything, siguro malamig na, no, by September. Actually, end of September is can be quite pleasant weather. So hopefully you enjoy it. And why not? Have a good time. Let me know what happens, now, meron tayong mga questions, I'm sure. Let's continue with our questions. I'm in the mood. I hope you are too, no? Let's just have a look. Next question nga natin. Ito. Okay. This is also a nice one, no? And this also, I spent quite a bit of time looking at. It was this as possible star question or visit visa. I plumbed for the visit visa because at the moment I'm getting a lot more questions about visit visas and also nga because of the time of year. But this is also an interesting question. Sabi niya, hello po, attorney, naka-tier 2 skilled worker visa po ako sa UK at plano po namin magpakasal ng British citizen live-in partner ko sa register office. Okay. May lang tanong lang po ako, sabi niya. Kapag nagbigay po kami ng notice of marriage, may interview po ba kasama o documents lang isasubmit? Great question. No? Mahirap po bang proseso? Kailangan ko rin po bang ipaalam sa Philippine Embassy at sa Home Office na ikakasal ako o pagkakasal na ako? No? Again, fair point, no? Ano-ano din ang mga dokumentong kailangan para magpakasal dito sa UK? At meron po ba kayong mga tips, no? Para maging mas madali at less stressful ang buong proseso? Maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat sa question mo. Again, it's a great question. So, let's unpack it, no? So, proseso, no? So, unang-una nga, just to take the tell you about the background, no? Proseso. Unang-una, you need to book an appointment, no? To enter your notice of intention to marry. You can do that online. So I looked actually because our office is in Richmond, no? Yung dulo ng district line nga. And so I actually looked at the Richmond register, no? Registrar for marriage. So and also Kingston also. So this is actually from the local authority directly. So yung nga unang-una, you can book your an appointment to give notice of your intention to marry online. Now, you must both give notice in person and produce documents to the registrar. Okay? Kung foreign national ka, and in this case, of course, you are, no? You also you have limited leave to remain, indefinite leave to remain. Indefinite leave to remain, for those of you who are wondering, means it's settlement visa. You don't have settlement. Yung viewer natin, she doesn't have settlement visa. So now, you would need to provide nga evidence of your. Well, let's go through it. Actually, let's not skip it. No. So, unang-una nga, you need additional documents if you're foreign and national. But I'll come back to that. What do you need in the meantime? So, everyone needs to provide nga evidence of name. So, documents nga to show evidencing name, date of birth, and nationality. Best evidence, of course, is a valid passport. If it's not a valid passport, then they will have questions nga, no? Because they'll wonder why you don't have a valid passport. So valid passport is the best evidence nga to show your name, date of birth, and nationality. Pangalawa, evidence of your status in the United Kingdom. Of course, yung fiancé mo, British siya, not an issue. But ikaw, Pilipino ka, no? With limited leave to remain under the skilled worker route, or otherwise known as Tier 2. So you need to be able to show your immigration status. How do you do that? You now have an e-visa, diba? Okay, so you can access that on your phone. You need to get a share code. That long number. So yung bibigay mo sa kanila. Also, when you go on your e-visa, makikita mo din na meron kang picture, di ba? No? Do a print screen on your phone, and alongside that, usually the following page is the when your visa will expire. Okay, print those. Then if they ask you to show the if they want to see it on your phone, fine. But normally I say to clients, print those and give them the share code. Those two together should be enough to evidence nga your status in the UK. Right? Now, but I would just add, and this is something also we discussed a few shows before, kahit wala kang visa nga dito, no, pwede pa rin kayong magpakasal. But I'm not gonna go into that because they'll take the rest of the of the evening nga. But we did deal with that as a topic a few shows back. So you are skilled here on with a valid visa, a skilled worker nga. So how do you prove that? Share code, as I say, and as the picture showing you pangalan mo din, and also kailan matatapos ang visa mo. But they may not even need that because you have a share code nga. They will ask you for share code. Because you are a foreign national with limited leave to remain, you need to also bring a passport size photo. But hindi nga lang ikaw, yung fiancé mo din, both of you. If there's no limit as to your status, so settled status ka, tapos yung fiancé mo is British, then you don't need the photos. But that's, to be frank, it's not really a big inconvenience. So you need to bring a passport size photo. No? Passport size, passports here. No? Hindi yung malaki. Alam ko, sa atin, oftentimes, pagka sinabi ko sa kliyente, oh, I need a passport size photo. Ang binibigay sa akin yung square na malaki. Hindi po yun. Yung mas maliit is the passport size photos for passports, the British passports here. For both of you, even though, of course, yung fiancé mo is British. So yun. So evidence of status. Evidence of any, if you had a previous relationship or previous marriage, I should say, or civil partnership, you need to also be able to show na that's gone. No, because of course, if you marry whilst you're still married, then you may be committing bigamy, which is a criminal offense. In the UK, typically that would be in the past called decree absolute, ngayon it's now called the final order pursuant to divorce. In the Philippines, it can be an annulment certificate. No, for example, kung hindi po English yung documento mo, then it needs to be officially translated. Make sure you do, because otherwise they won't accept it. No, so you're on. Now, you need to also be able to show evidence of place of residence. So if you're giving notice, you need to give notice to where you are living, okay? And you must produce the original paper documents. So if you have, for example, a lot of people provide statements from online accounts, bank accounts. So if you have a statement bank statement from an online account, it must be verified by the service provider. So ibig sabihin, if you're banking with any bank, really, Santander, Barclays, they need to actually verify it. So they would need to stamp it. Okay. Best is just to see if you have a bill. Council tax is always good. So if you that should show your address no? For both of you, okay? So utility bills, so as I've said, water, electricity, gas, should be dated no more than 3 months before the date of the notice of appointment. So if you're giving notice today, and then yung utility bills should not be older than, say, 3 months previously. Bank or Building Society, statement, hindi passbook no? Hindi naman nauso ng passbook, but anyway, but no more than 1 month before the date of the notice of appointment, okay? So, kung meron kayong bank statement no older than 1 month. Council tax bill is a good one also. That should be no more than 1 year before the date of the notice of appointment. Same for mortgage statements, because usually yun nakukuha nyo lang every year naman no? Also, current residential tenancy agreement. So if you have a tenancy agreement, you can the current one, the last one, you can provide that. I mean, actually, that would be interesting. Dahil nagbago ng batas to do with those renting, rental rights, yeah. And there, ngayon na, if in the past you would have an assured short hold tenancy after the 31st of May. Now it just automatically becomes a periodic tenancy, tuloy-tuloy nga. So a lot of landlords will probably no longer issue tenancy agreements because they don't need to, because it just continues now. So which means that a lot of people who in the past may have been able to provide tenancy agreements will no longer be able to provide tenancy agreements because they're not provided tenancy agreements. So it could be that you have old tenancy agreements. So that would be interesting to see what the registrar do in relation to that, whether they insist on something more current, or indeed maybe a letter from the landlord to support the last tenancy agreement if the tenancy agreement is old. Anyway. Also, valid driving license, if you're driving, potentially. So So those are acceptable documents. If you already have a ceremony booked, so you've already decided you're going to get married, I don't know, again in Richmond, there's York House, lovely place in Twickenham, where they hold wedding ceremonies. So if you already booked that, bring it along also. If you have not yet booked it, beware, you have to tell the registrar precisely, the venue and the room. Pagka binigay nyo na yon, there's no going back. There's once notice has been given, you're stuck with that. So don't just pick a venue, thinking you can change it, because it can't be changed once notice is given. Warning. A few of my clients have been caught out by that. Now, if you are not British, Irish, or someone with indefinite leave to remain, or indeed EU with settlement status, you need additional documents. Okay, so in your case, then you're here on a skilled work route, and your visa will so you don't have indefinite leave to remain, and Filipino ka nga. Additionally, as I've said, you need to ensure that you bring a passport size color photo, not just for you, but also for your fiance. Okay, and as I've said proof of your immigration status. Okay, so huwag niyong kalimutan yon. The fee also is a little bit higher, but not very much. I think it's something like £52, to give notice para sa'yo. Sa fiancé mo, because British nga siya, then you're looking at, I think it's £47. So it's so there's a few pounds difference, but not, as I say, not an awful lot. Now, not to forget, of course, the fact that you have limited leave to remain. Anong ibig sabihin, what will the registrar do? Sabi mo, ma-interview ba kayo? Yes, is the quick answer. So when you're given notice and you're giving in your documents at the same time, the registrar will then have a kind of mini interview. They will ask you basically, I'll take you through, yung appointment yung I'll take you through what's likely to, what they're looking for. So, but let me just read to you something from, I think this is from Kingston Registrar website nga. So, so if you have limited leave to remain, then sabi nila, we work closely with the Home Office for the detection and prevention of sham marriages and civil partnerships, where one or both partners are subject to immigration control. We are required by law to inform the Home Office of a couple's intention to marry or form a civil partnership. The Home Office will review each couple's case. The notice period could be extended to 70 days. So usually notice period is 28 days. It could be extended to 70 days. And my experience is it normally is extended to 70 days. So you booked your appointment. Ready na kayo. Handa na kayo mga dokumento nyo. What happens at your appointment? Let me take you through briefly what's likely to happen. So at your appointment, they will interview you and your partner separately. Okay? And they will ask you about your venue choices. So, saan kayo kakasal nga, if you're having, of course, a marriage or indeed a civil partnership, what dates, what dates are you looking at for your ceremony? The correct spelling no? Of your name, no? Of course, yung partner mo nga din, address nyo, okay? Bank building society needs to be provided, as I've said, the documents to show. Nationality nyo, no? They will ask, of course, that'll be on your passport anyway. Birthday nyo, no? Job titles, no? Previous marriages, okay? Parents' details, occupations. Hindi naman ganong mahaba ang interview nga. But of course, they're going to suss out, how do you come across? Do they have any concerns? No? So yun. So they will ask you pertinent questions. I mean, they won't ask you anything that you don't know about. No, it's your life. But they will interview you nga. So the answer, yung question mo nga, no, will you be interviewed? Yes, you will be interviewed. So again, just just be ready, discuss the venue, because there's nothing more. Well, it would be a bit odd if he says you're gonna get married in Norfolk, and you say we're gonna get married in Kensington. Okay. So discuss it. I mean, if you haven't actually quite decided yet, then you can say that. But really, you bear in mind once you give notice nga, and you say, okay, dito kami kakasal, even though you haven't booked it, you're stuck with that, no? I mean, I'm sure you can give notice again to change it, but you're kind of stuck with that, at least for the time being. So once you've given notice, though, and you have, they say, oh, okay, because you have limited leave to remain, we're going to you need to allow for 70 days notice. That's fine. So mangyayari during that time, it could be na mag-email yung home office inyo to say, that's fine, you can get married whenever really. That means that they had no concerns about your about the genuineness nga, of your intention of your marriage, intention to marry. But it could also be that they say they do nothing. That's actually probably the more common scenario at the moment. If they do nothing, then you can you can make contact with the registrar. You can say, can we get married earlier? Most of my clients just wait, just in case they get something else from the home office nga. So the 70 days allow for that. It could also be more unusually that they say no, where we want to investigate more. I have not had that for my clients for a long time. And if they do, don't panic. That's fine. If they want to meet for you to submit documents again, so be it. So just deal with it kung meron pa silang mga questions. So allow, as I've said, 70 days after the notice period sa iyo, dahil nga nandito ka, may visa ka naman, which is fine. But you still need to allow the 70 days because you have skilled worker route tier 2. So yon, even though as ang fiancé mo is British, all right? But don't panic. It's fine. You have a genuine relationship. You simply wish to marry in the United Kingdom nga. Yung nga lang, you just need to be prepared. Ihanda niyo mga dokumento niyo. Discuss the venue nga. And they may even ask you, and I've had clients who've been asked, who are you inviting? How many people are you looking to invite? Again, they don't need to know that, but I think it's a way of assessing, the genuineness of your relationship. And I've also had clients who've been asked odd questions. One client of mine, this years back now, for some strange reason was asked, who did the last shopping? Bizarre. But anyway, so, but if they ask questions, just answer them. Truly, no need to panic. Just be prepared, okay? I hope that's helpful. I'm sorry I've gone on about it because okay, June has now passed, but a lot of people getting married in the summer. Good luck. And I would hope that goes well. I always say to my when we do our show, let me know what happens, because it's truly a bit like reading a book and not knowing how it ends. It's annoying. So tell me, especially sa'yo, because you're looking to get married, and maybe you will do me the honor also going one better. Send us photos. That would be nice. That would be nice, no? Now, let me have a look at our next question nga. So, sandali. Oh, okay. Ask ko lang po sana tungkol sa ILR. For those of you who are newbies, ILR is indefinite leave to remain. So, indefinite leave to remain application ng anak ko, sabi niya. Spouse visa holder po ako, married to British citizen. Dumating po ako sa UK noong November 2021 under fiancé visa. Pagkatapos, nabigyan ako ng first spouse visa mula May 2022 hanggang November 2024. At currently, nasa second spouse visa na ako, valid hanggang July 2027. So next year, no? Eligible na po ako mag-apply ng ILR. Yeah, tama ka. Sa May 2027. Ang anak ko po naman, mula sa previous relationship, ay dumating sa UK noong August 2023. Okay, so that's 3 years ago. Bilang dependent ko. 21 years old na po siya ngayon. Oh, good. So naipasok mo when he was just 18, no? 21 years old na po siya ngayon at nakapasa na rin siya ng Life in the UK test at English test. Well done. Ang tanong ko po, eligible na po ba siyang mag-apply ng indefinite leave to remain kasabay ko next year o kailangan ba niya mag-visa extension at kumpletuhin yung muna yung 5-year qualifying period bilang dependent? Yes, it's the second one. So, over 18 na nga siya, hindi pa siya 5 years dito, ang application niya is still as your dependent, as long as she remains to be your dependent. Ibig sabihin hindi siya nagpakasal sa ibang tao, hindi siya, he's not living independently from you, ikaw pa rin nagbibigay pera sa kanya, for example, ikaw pa rin nagsusustento nga sa kanya. So as long as he's still your dependent, it should still be okay. So sa kanya, kung dumating siya dito August 2023, okay, you add 5 years, so you're looking at August 2028. So about a year after, you've of course got your indefinite leave to remain. Beware though, lots of immigration changes are coming into play, including something called earned settlement, which is change to the usual 5 years nga leave to remain. Now, one of the things the government has said is they will probably not change the 5 years for under the family route. Now, whether or not the definition of family route is limited to spouses, or it also includes dependents, which would make sense, no? I don't know. No? That's coming into play. So, ingat kayo. No? So, I mean, wala ka magagawa. No? You should apply when you can apply. Because if you apply sooner, then the application will likely be refused. Sayang lang pera nyo. Hindi nila babalik yung application fee. Ang babalik ka lang nila is the IHS, the Immigration Health Surcharge, but not the application fee. And when you apply for indefinite leave to remain, there's of course no IHS, no, payable nga, but the immigration fee is quite a bit higher. So you don't want to waste that money. I hope that it's he's able to apply as sooner rather than later. Let me know. Keep me informed. Now, we have some more questions. So, sandali nga lang. Let me just have a look. Ito. Yeah. Good evening po, sabi niya, no? Currently po, nag-apply ng UK spouse visa. British citizen po ang asawa ko, kasal po kami sa Pilipinas, at may baby na rin po kami. Okay. Gusto ko lang pong itanong kung ano po bang tamang proof of accommodation na dapat isubmit. This is a great question. Then most of the time, mga tao, ang kliyente ko, sometimes nga, they're focused on income, no? Which a lot of you will know is £29,000 nga minimum. But then, nakalimutan nila yung accommodation. But the financial requirement for spouse visas nga, is in two limbs, no? That is the income, absolutely, but also accommodation. If you don't satisfy one or the other, then you don't satisfy the financial requirements. So importante po, no? Now, gusto ko lang po sabi niya dito, tanong niya, gusto ko lang po itanong kung ano pong tamang proof of accommodation na dapat isubmit. Required po bang tenancy agreement, no? O sapat na bang invitation letter mula sa asawa ko, no? Magiging issue po rin po ba yung kung magkaibang address na ilalagay ko sa application form as a proof of accommodation. Oh, I see. Dahil hindi ka dito nakatira, nasa Pilipinas ka. Bukod pa rin to, meron po bang ibang importanteng supporting documents na dapat kong ihanda para sa application? Yes, the application documents require more nga than, say, yung tenancy agreement. There are other things, but let's concentrate on the tenancy agreement. So, as I've said, yung spouse financial condition is twofold: accommodation and of course financial requirement. So, let's focus on the accommodation. Kami, when we're making applications, if you own the property, so or even subject to a mortgage nga, then I'd usually carry out what's called an office copy entry search. No, so it's a search against the land registry. Most properties, I'm not sure whether it's all properties, but most properties in the United Kingdom, mainly, should be registered land. So makikita mo from the land registry nga. When you do your search with the land registry, nandun ang pangalan ng sino may-ari. You know? So if the property is yours, then your name should appear on that, even if there's a mortgage. No, you own. Now, that's also useful though for those who are renting. So going back sa viewer nga natin, invitation letter, is that enough? No. Invitation letter is not enough, because you need to prove that you are actually allowed to occupy the property. So yung asawa mo, may sulat siya, sabi niya, oh yeah, nakatira ako dito, of course I'm inviting her to live with me. Hindi po yun sapat, no? Dahil yung asawa mo, kayong pareho, even though your application, need to be able to show that in the United Kingdom, he's able to provide for you without recourse to public funds, and that includes nga or accommodate you also in the United Kingdom. So, ibig sabihin, absolutely, no, the statement, yung sulat nga galing sa kanya, should also say that you will be living together, but also kailangan pakita where he's living now, yung titiran mo nga din, how is that suitable or for you, no? So if it's rented, yes, the tenancy agreement should also be submitted nga. Beware, pagka mayroon siyang tenancy agreement, basahin nyo. Don't just send documents. I mean, this applies to all documents, going to anyone really, but basahin nyo. I've had people just submit tenancy agreement without really reading what it says, because some tenancy agreements specifically prohibit other third parties living the property, or say that you need a specific authority, explicit authority from the landlord or the agents of the landlord for someone else to live in the property. Kung ganoon, makita yun ng home office, hindi kayo nag-submit ng authority, then they will refuse the application. So, tignan yung maigi. What does it say? For us, ang sinasabi ko sa mga kliyente ko, absolutely tenancy agreement. Of course, nasa pangalan ng asawa mo nga lang, because you're not in the United Kingdom. But he should go to the agent or the landlord to get a letter from them to say, yep, he's the tenant nga, the property is suitable, for a family, including one baby, because you also need to show suitability, then hindi nga lang kayo dalawa, so you're not just sharing a bed, you also have a baby, who's coming into the United Kingdom. So it should also say that it's suitable for you both, coming into the United Kingdom, and also to say that you are allowed to live in the property. Okay? So importante po yun. Otherwise, you may not satisfy the accommodation requirement, which is one half of the financial requirement. So the answer is absolutely you should provide tenancy agreement. In fact, I would go one step further. Practical tip ko, because you were asking also on pangkailangan. If the landlord, so whoever's letting the property, renting the property to you, should be the person who owns the property, unless, of course, it's also possible sometimes some properties are owned by companies. For example, a lot of the properties I come across is owned by an individual person. So whoever's the landlord noted, on the tenancy agreement, if you have a tenancy agreement, will likely also be the person who owns the property. And how do you prove that? Going back to what I was saying earlier, that is by making a search against the land registry. No, it's Magistrates Land Registry, HMLR, usually, tawag nga, for an office copy entry search. There's a payment. I think it's £7 or something. Hindi naman gaano malaki, no? Makikita nyo doon sino ba may-ari. So normally ako, pagka nagpapasok ng application mga ganito, I submit absolutely, letter or in statement in support, no? Sa atin tawag affidavit from whoever's here, yung asawa mo nga, the tenancy agreement, a letter from the landlord or the agent dealing with it, and if I can, the land registry also showing sino may-ari, and yung may-ari, that's also the person who's written the letter. So you then have a full circle, no? So that there's then no doubt na pwede ka nga tumira doon, it's suitable also. Okay. Well, one thing also that sometimes I do also provide, but normally it's where there are a number of children coming, is I have a report done, no? State agents normally can do this, so they go and inspect, the property, and they say, okay, it's 2 bedrooms or 1 bedroom or studio nga, there's a separate bathroom. So they prepare a short, property accommodation inspection nga. No? That's sometimes also useful. In your case, it may be helpful that dalawa nga kayong papasok dito yung baby nyo. Okay, so yeah, absolutely, it's it kailangan po yun. Now, going one step further, so sabi mo nga dito, ano pang kailangan? For spouse applications, the usual requirements would be, as I say, financial documents, 2 limbs, no? You have the accommodation, you have the financial support. Financial support, alam mo naman siguro, no? It's now £29,000. Previously, it was 18,600, but a couple of years ago, nagbago po yun. So it's now £29,000. May baby kayo, but it doesn't matter. It's still £29,000. Okay? So ang sweldo ng asawa mo should be no less, before tax, £29,000. Okay? Now, also kailangan nyo, you need to prove that, of course, the relationship is genuine. That's helped by the fact that you have a baby together. Okay. If you're married, then of course you need to be able to also provide yung marriage contract nyo. No? If it's in Tagalog, you need to get that officially translated. Also, kailangan mo ng A1 at least, no? Na gamitin. Kung ako ikaw, kung kaya mo A2, I would go with the A2 because it could be that then you can reuse it for later on. I say that with a bit of a caveat in that the English language requirements are changing, no? Some changing next year, I think in March actually. So yun. So it's but you'll need that, no? So I would go with the A2 rather than the A1. So with the hope that you can reuse it nga for the extension. Now you need to also be able to provide, as I say, proof that you are in a genuine relationship. So kung nagpapadala siya, remittances nga, siguro hindi na kayo nagsusulatan, hindi na usong sulatan, no? If you're doing, Facebook chats, for example, maybe some of your chats as an example. I mean, they should not really, put it this way, meron kayong anak. So, they may not be as concerned about the genuineness of your relationship because you have a child together, than say with other people who do not have a child together. So, yeah, but still deal with it. No, importante po nga yun, that you satisfy them. Now, tip ko, sabi mo sa akin, no, ano ba kailangan mong ihanda, supporting documents. Tip ko ito, prepare a statement. I don't mean bank statement. I mean like parang affidavit, sulat. No, sometimes letters also fine. But normally, I prepare a statement of truth. So it's more official. Sasabihin nga doon, kailan ka nag-umpisa, relationship nyo, how did you meet, where did you meet, no? You now have a child nga together, anong plano. So factual information. And also say, that you umuwi ba siya sa'yo, no? So, do you take trips abroad, for example? So, it's for you to satisfy the home office nga, the relationship is um, genuine and subsisting. No? That's usually the phrase that they use. Now, the fact that yung address mo, iba sa address niya, I mean, that makes sense because nasa Pilipinas ka. No? So I wouldn't stress about that. So if you have different addresses, that absolutely makes sense. Actually, it would not make sense if you had the same address. So on the application form, kailangan mong lagay when they ask you for your residential address, is your address. Saan ka nakatira sa atin. No? And of course, yung asawa mo, they will also ask, anong address nga niya, lalagay yung address nga dito. So I wouldn't stress too much about that. I hope that's helpful to you. And again, keep me informed, no? Keep me informed. I hope that good luck. And kung ako kayo, I would do that sooner rather than later because there are many changes afoot. Now, I hope may sisingit pa rin natin yung may greeters, no? And I hope there are greeters, okay? Miss Diesta, the lovely, lovely Miss Diesta. Good evening, Samia, Attorney Lira, and to all viewers. On my way home, waiting for the bus. Oh, she's so... I just went... Oh, you went to Mass. She went to Mass. God bless. I hope everyone is well on this lovely Thursday evening. To you too, Miss Diesta, no? Waiting for the bus. I'm so... I know, you take the time nga, no, to message me, and I'm so grateful. So sometimes, so you nga, you on your way back from Mass, and then you're waiting for the bus, and you're tuning in. Love it. I hope you're well, Miss Diesta. No, I do hope you're well. So, Miss Jones, the lovely, lovely Miss Jones. Happy hot Thursday evening to Attorney Lira and all viewers. Looking forward to another informative and interesting topics. Yeah, I hope you found that interesting. No, I mean, tama, but I mean that the heat is. I must say, it surprised me how hot it's been the last few days. No, di ba? Hindi, I think dito hindi tayo. I'm not sure. Maybe we forget easily. No, I can't remember if last year it was this hot. I think June broke some records, no, in the way of heat. So maybe it was not as hot. So I found it quite interesting yung star question nga natin da sabi niya it's umuwi siya dahil napakainit nga dito. It was so hot. It was better to go back to the Philippines. It did make me smile. Now, let me just see if there any more. Egay, the great guy from London. A hot Thursday to Attorney Lira and to the viewers. I work in Canary Wharf today. I'm so sorry. Yeah, may dala akong mini fan. So bawas ng init. You are so right, sir. Those mini fans are lifesavers. Oh, yung pamaypay, no? I'm still thinking of the game last night. Oh, Edgar, you have to say it. England versus Argentina. Not happy moods office. I'm not. Yeah. What can I say? I can't. I tell you what. This kanina umaga, no. I was reading, as you do, you whilst you're having breakfast, you're looking at the paper. I had to skip through any news about football. I could not bear it. I could not bear it. And I don't really follow football religiously. But I was so sad nga for them. So sad for them. Now, sorry, hindi ko natapos. Let me just see if I can bring back Egay. So sabi niya, I'm now ambassador of Ating Siopaw Asado. It's my dinner now. Whilst listening to your lovely voice. You can order on the network link. I can post here. Absolutely. Yeah, with your permission, please. Looking forward to lots of learning again. Egay, the guy. I didn't manage to order last week. But I will. No? And those of you who are ordering, let me know. Ito. So I'm gonna order. I'm gonna order. And then sasabihin ko sa'yo anong nangyari. Miss Nadella, the lovely, lovely Miss Risa Nadella. Hello, Attorney Lira, sabi niya. Hello, madam. How are you? God bless. No? Are you well? Nandito ka ngayon? So I hope actually that you're... Miss Nadella is truly a hardworking person. So I hope that you're able to take a break. Obaya, sabi niya. Hello po. Kamusta, Mrs.? Are you well? No, it's So you still have your coat on there. So it's an old photo. Send me a summer photo, no? Miss Raphael. Lovely photo, Miss Raphael. And she's feeling good because she's all in caps, no? Hello, good evening, Attorney Lira, and everyone. Happy Thursday to all viewers. Happy Thursday po, Madam. Are you well? I'm always thinking of you at the moment because partly, well, we like to think about you only anyway because we like Miss Raphael, no? But also, Wimbledon, no? Katatapos nga lang. So it's been great. Miss Giling, the lovely, hardworking Miss Giling, Giling. Hello, good evening, ma'am. Sabi niya, happy Thursday po. Happy Thursday, madam. I was gonna say, I hope you're not at work now, huh? No? The handsome Mr. Edgar Duarte. I love this photo of Edgar. I always say it, and I'm not just winding you up nga, no? It's very James Bondy, di ba? No? James Bondy. Magandang gabi, sabi niya. Magandang gabi po, Attorney Elsie, Ma'am Emmeline Raphael, and Miss Giling. Absolutely. I always forget. I was going to say, but I do recall, I should say now, dagdag kaalaman Thursday, sabi niya, the guy, kamusta? See, Mr. Duay, he brings everyone together, no? And last week, diba, no, you reminded me, we met each other, of course, no? I was looking for my photo with you. I can't find it, but when I find it, I'm gonna post it. Miss Giling sabi, hello po, Mr. Duay. Yeah, hello po, sir. I hope you're doing well, no? Mariam Galicia Paner, sabi niya, hello po, Atty. Lira, at sa lahat, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday! Like this picture. It's a new one, huh, Miss Paner? Nasaan ka dyan? It's a summer one, no? Summer photo. Sabi ni Edgar, Irene, wish to say hi to everyone. The missus, no? The better half, huh? She's doing volunteering job as a nurse at Lourdes in France. In the pilgrims, no? Pinagdadasal tayo. Oh. You know, sila as a family, truly they are, they give it, no, they give back the blessings, no? Truly, they're so good. Edgar, of course, Irene nga, no? And the children, no? Last week, may nangamusta kay Watson. So sabi niya, how's Watson, no? So sabi ko, anyway, so I thought I'd upload a photo of Watson. Ito po yung aso ko, for those of you who've been, sumusubaybay na for a while. This is Watson. He's a very, I was going to say gigantic Labrador because he is very big, no? So he's a big Labrador, and you can see he's quite a lazy Labrador. That's probably why he's a big Labrador. So he's nearly 13 years old. Matanda na yung aso ko. And Watson, sabi niya, the lovely lab. Tatanda mo siya, no? Because of course, only here, only in Lira in Law, are we going to get, do people say hello to my dog, no? So yeah, sasabihin ko, papasa ko yung hello nyo, no? He can get a treat. Oh, Lucille Ann Cliff, sabi niya, hello po, Attorney Lira. Hello, how are you? Love this photo. Oh, yes, sabi niya, lovely dog. Yeah, we see he's a very hungry dog. Always eating, a bit like me, always eating. Now, I think maybe that may be it for our greeters. Nga. Thank you very, very much, for continuing to tune in. Here's what's in the back, right? Continuing to tune in, and salamat po to all the Facebook groups nga that allow us to post our contents on their pages. Salamat po, and of course, big thanks to the people who've said hello. My favorite part of our show. And of course, the people who have always posted their questions. Kung meron kayong questions, don't forget, as long as I have it by next Wednesday, I'll try and of course, deal with it nga. And don't forget also, those of you who are, looking to get married, coming into the United Kingdom, can you tell me when that's happened? No, it would be really nice. because I'd like to know. I'd love to know, actually. But otherwise, I hope that you'll be able to join me again next week for our usual Thursday get-together from 7:30 onwards. Live as usual, broadcasting from London, England. No? Until then, I hope that you enjoy your week, you enjoy the heat, no? And if it's too hot, that you're inside. No? Until then, as I say, I hope to see you next week. Same time, same place. Good night.